Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about something from the Jurassic Park novels. In the original books that were written by Michael Crichton, there existed a strange folktale that became associated with the dinosaurs of the theme park. This folktale was a part of Costa Rican culture, and it told stories of an evil entity that was believed to be responsible for some truly terrible things. If you've read the books, then of course you know that I'm talking about what is known as the Hupia, the name given to the killers of innocent victims on the mainland after the animals made their way into the jungles. Now, the Hupia is first described at the very beginning of the first novel, and it's a title that we learn quickly means something dark for a woman who is going into labor. In Jurassic Park, women dared not speak the word Hupia around the time of a newborn's birth. It was believed to bring nothing but bad luck to poor souls who encountered it. This ancient word and entire superstition comes from the old times of Taino culture, which was long before the Spanish had come to the country and spread out their beliefs in Catholicism. You see, the Hupia is described as a ghostly spirit, someone who has died yet still exists on the earthly plane that is shared by all of the living. In some instances, they are said to seduce women and even kidnap children who went out by themselves in the dark. These faceless vampires are ghosts of the night that people in rural Costa Rica dared not mess with. But when a dying 18-year-old boy is brought into a hospital from Isla Nublar, the cuts and lacerations on his body lead to superstition being aroused by one of the doctors. While she personally didn't believe in the folklore that surrounded the Hupia, she couldn't help but notice that the word he kept saying over and over again translated to ravisher or abductor. What the boy was really saying was Losa Raptor, and I think we all know exactly what he meant when he said it. Still, the superstition of the Hupia would stay in Costa Rica following the events of Tina Bowman's unfortunate attack. While she was vacationing with her parents on a beautiful beach, she would fall victim to what she described as long-necked lizards with 3 toes. This would of course be one of John Hammond's Compsognathus, which had found its way off of the island and into civilized world. Sadly, the belief in the Hupia would escalate once a newborn infant was attacked and killed by compies not too long after that incident. Now, with a velociraptor being responsible for the death of an 18-year-old, and compies being responsible for what was known as the biting of the babies, Costa Rica was made aware of a very serious problem that its government would have to deal with ASAP. Of course, they were unable to fully contain the outbreak once it's revealed that many different types of dinosaurs had already fled deep into the jungles and mountains. From there on out, the terror of the Hupia would spread to new places nobody thought even possible just a few days before. Apart from the books, the Hupia has also been referenced in a certain Jurassic Park comic that takes place in Costa Rica during the early 90s, only this time, it's in reference to a family of Dilophosaurs that had come to nest on the mainland. These spitters soon go to war with a pretty violent biker gang, and the story depicts a pretty mean series of dinosaurs murdering people and human beings gunning them down shortly after. If you haven't checked it out just yet, I'd highly recommend picking it up. If you just want to know what happened, I actually reviewed the story way back in 2017 in an older video, so I'd also recommend that if you're interested. Now, as far as the movies are concerned, we've unfortunately never gotten any sort of reference or even acknowledgement of the Hupia whatsoever. This is kind of understandable since they scrapped their original plans for the Jurassic Park trilogy during the 3rd act of The Lost World and all of JP3, but still, I think we have the perfect opportunity to incorporate the legend in the new film that's due out in 2021. Dinosaurs on the mainland has been a major plot point and important attribute of Jurassic Park ever since the ink was dried on those first few pages of the original novel. It predates every other idea about the entire franchise, so I really think it should be explored fully when we finally get the chance. The Hupia would make for an excellent translation to the silver screen, and here's hoping it pops up somewhere in Jurassic World 3. But what do all of you guys think about this old part of Jurassic Park lore? Are you a fan of the Hupia folktale, or do you think it's something that's not all too important? I think I've pretty much summed up my thoughts on it really well, but whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Guys, it seriously means the world to me that you all even continue to watch these videos, and I want to thank each and every one of you for all of your continued support. Now, I'd like to thank all of you for watching this video and hope you all enjoy today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you on the next one, guys, and as always, take it easy.